The Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, violence at a Valero in Detroit. The gas station is shut down after a clerk allegedly shot at an unarmed customer.
Top brass in the city say they're not messing around with violence at businesses.
Pointed a firearm, shot at a customer here inside this location.
The gas station clerk in his 20s allegedly pulled the trigger of his 12-gauge shotgun from behind bulletproof glass aimed right at a customer.
The clerk's life was not in danger in any way. He was behind the protection of bulletproof glass when he did it. So again, these actions reprehensible, and we're not going to tolerate that.
That shotgun shell penetrated the glass, hurling shards onto the customer in his 30s. It does not appear he was hit with the shotgun shell, but was injured by the glass. It happened Monday night at this Valero gas station at the corner of Conant and McNichols on Detroit's east side.
This is not okay, and anyone that makes a decision to do this, we will shut you down.
Promise kept. Assistant Chief Franklin Hayes and his crew with DPD, plus representatives from the city of Detroit, shut down the place indefinitely. It used to be a green light location too. They'll use the good security footage for evidence in this case, but that partnership is severed.
In no way, shape, form, or fashion do we want them to be a part of our green light partnership. So in addition to this closure, they are absolutely kicked out of the program. We don't want their business.
This tale of clerk on customer violence is not unfamiliar. Assistant Chief leaves business owners with this.
If this happens again, they will see me.
Well, now this all goes to court. The owner of the gas station will have to seek legal avenues to open back up, which we know costs money, time. So this is definitely a slap on the wrist. And I think that Detroit police, they're setting the tone early in the summer. We know they get busy as it gets warmer, and they just want to kind of prevent this from happening again.
They want to make sure that everyone sees this story so they understand what they're doing to prevent it.
That's right.
Turning to a couple now of joyrides on ATVs ending with arrests in Auburn Hills. Police officers and sheriff's deputies filling Chrysler Drive outside the Stellantis headquarters this morning with squad cars. Officers arresting two suspects nearby on I-75. They're accused of stealing ATVs out of Groveland Township, then taking them for a spin just after 3 this morning. Troopers believe a third suspect is still on the run.
A man from Arizona will spend the next 22 to 60 years in prison after he came to Michigan for a work conference, then raped a woman in her hotel room. It happened at the Sonesta Select in Auburn Hills back in August. Joel Delavara befriended that woman during the conference, then later asked the front desk for a key to her room, which the desk clerk handed over. That woman then woke up to him sexually assaulting her.
This experience has created a lasting trauma for me. I feel like the person I was, confident, joyful, and trusting, has been taken from me. I often feel like I don't want to leave the house. Working, vacations, or even staying in hotels will never be the same again.
Fox 2 did reach out to Sonesta for comment, but we've not heard back yet. However, an attorney representing that woman tells us the clerk was fired. They haven't filed a suit yet against the hotel.
Well, a disturbing story out of Macomb County where a man is accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl at a park.
The prosecutor there says the girl didn't go down without a fight and the suspect has been arrested. But as Fox 2's Dave Spencer explains, there's some concern about the charges in this case.
Lake Saint Clair Metropark this past weekend, a 15-year-old girl was with two other girls her age when it's alleged that this man, 23-year-old Abdul Nassar Muthana, started sexually harassing them, making lewd gestures. Macomb County prosecutor Pete Lucido says it escalated from there. He said Muthana touched her backside
and then subsequently tried to reach into her pants. I don't know why people do that. I don't know that they have this extremeness to do a taking of another individual.
The prosecutor says the victim fought back.
She kicked him in the groin to get away from him. That's the right thing to do.
Metropark police worked with Macomb County Sheriff deputies to track Muthana down and arrest him. But during his arraignment, the prosecutor was less than satisfied.
Now he sits on a $50,000 personal bond released without a tether to go back into the... I don't get it.
On top of that, Lucido says even if they get a conviction in this crime and a max penalty, 2 years in prison, it won't fit the crime in his view. He says his hands are tied.
Our laws in this state need to be refined, and here's why. If people think that they have that ability just to take from another human being, then we charge the maximum we could under the law.
In Michigan, there are different levels of criminal sexual conduct charges.
Touching on the behind and attempting to put your hand down somebody's pants is the 2-year. We can't go any more than the law provides.
And the age of the victim, 15, plays a role in this case as well.
If this child was under 13 years of age, this would have been a 15-year felony.
So what can be done about it? Lucido has a suggestion.
If you don't like that amount of time, speak to your legislators to change the law.
A conviction in this case would mean that the suspect is listed on the Michigan Sex Offender Registry. This case will go back before a judge later this month. In Macomb County, Dave Spencer on The Edge.
2 Hamtramck City Council members up for re-election accused of not living in the city they represent.
The allegations drawing widespread criticism. Fox News' Dave Kinchin has more from tonight's meeting.
Hamtramck City Council voting to keep 2 of their embattled members on the city council after they've been accused of not actually living here.
Imagine I run for the city council of Detroit and I live in Hamtramck. I'll be in jail within 2 hours.
The heated meeting beginning with a statement of findings from a private investigation into exactly where council members Muhith Mahmood and Abu Musa live. Investigators say they did spot checks, used GPS trackers on their cars, and spoke to neighbors. Police officials backing up the findings of the probe, stating Mahmood really lives in Troy and that Musa actually lives in Warren. But both men deny those allegations, using several personal documents for their defense. They are also running to keep their current seats on council, but there have been questions as to whether they can even make the ballot. Listen to what happened, beginning with those 2 officials pushing back on that investigation.
This is a violation. Sending people under watching my wife. I mean, my kids are scared now who's coming to the door. It's clearly said on the affidavit, there's nothing to lie.
My W-2 since 2011 in Hamtramck address, and my all other things, my insurance, my car, everything in Hamtramck.
We have elected people to represent us that think they're too good to live with us. It's unacceptable.
Well, I know these guys personally, so I mean, I know they're good people, and my point was that there's no real definition of residency.
And that last point is a critical one. Several Hamtramck city officials say the city does not have a formal definition of the word residency, which many municipalities in fact do. So in essence, many say, how can these council members break a law that does not even exist? While Michigan State Police have been called in to assist in this investigation, there have been calls for the State Attorney General's office to look into this as well. But for now, those 2 members of City Council embattled in all of this stay on City Council. In Hamtramck, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Well, we're happy to report the skies are starting to clear after a pretty damp day around here.
Yeah, it certainly was. Weather Authority Rich Luderman has a look at what we can expect as we head into tomorrow. Maybe a little drier weather, we hope.
We're going to see some dry weather. It's going to be raining only part of the time tomorrow as we're still dealing with this low pressure. And we did see occasional rain today, and we'll likely see more tomorrow. But again, most of the time Wednesday, it will not be raining. You can see where there is some steady rains out over Pennsylvania, Panhandle of Maryland. Very, very heavy rainfall around here, on average about 1/4 of an inch. Still some showers there in northern Ohio, also up there close to Flint. How about live pictures from the Mackinac Bridge? Quiet and 55. How about the Sky Tracker radar showing some of these light showers north of Flint, also along the Michigan-Ohio border region. Perhaps a few sprinkles near Port Huron and Sarnia. Here are the daytime highs. Even with all the clouds and the damp weather, we still made it to 70 degrees, 78 in Chicago, close to 70 up there around Escanaba, 70 and 63. There's that rainfall total, just under 1/4 of an inch. A lot of us have numbers in the low to mid 60s, but it's kind of soupy out there because dew points are elevated, so it feels kind of damp. Let me show you the numbers across the Great Lakes. 64 in Marquette, 64 in Chicago, 65 out to our east in Buffalo. So low pressure slowly over time is going to pull away to the east, and that's going to leave us with mostly dry weather Thursday and Friday. The exception is going to be late Thursday night. We could see some strong storms come through, but again, that's Thursday night. Shower chances continue tonight and again tomorrow. Check out the full 7-day forecast. It is going to get warm around here for Thursday and Friday. Somewhat cooler for the weekend, but dry and pleasant. Roop, another check at 4 a.m.
All right, Rich.